Drones have allowed us to capture amazing things that we'd otherwise never be able to see. But with this new technology comes great responsibility. That is because sometimes scary and creepy things can be caught on drone cameras. From unexplained people in bizarre locations, to videos that show that drone technology may be going way too far. Tribe. Nowadays, our world is open and connected. Pretty much everyone is in contact with everyone and no one lives off the grid. But there are a select few people who have never had human contact. This includes various tribes in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. As you can see, one person flew a drone over these tribes people. These people have never been in contact with another human being, let alone seen something as technologically advanced as a drone. It's normally best to leave these tribes as they are. That's why the world was stunned when these tribe people were caught on camera. The drone going over the Amazon actually caught 16 people walking through the rainforest. But so far this tribe has still never encountered anyone from the modern world. Drone UFO. This one was taken on a drone, but not a normal consumer drone. This is taken from a US military drone flying in Afghanistan. The Predator drone was doing a routine patrol, but that's when its camera caught something absolutely mind-blowing. A huge and fast flying object enters its airspace. The unmanned drone, which is controlled by a computer, follows it. But then the object disappears in a gigantic burst of white light. It also appears to make the drone's camera glitch out. This could suggest that the UFO let off an EMP. This temporarily scrambles any electronics in the area. The drone then ascends and looks around the area, but whatever was there is now gone. This was leaked from the US military, but they never made an official comment on it. Do you think that they caught a UFO in the mountains of Afghanistan? Or do you think this is some kind of futuristic military technology we're seeing? Swamp search. This drone footage comes from East Anglia, UK. Peter Pugh, a 75-year-old writer, was taking a walk with his family on the beach. That's when he somehow became separated from his family. This took place at 5 o'clock in the evening, but it wasn't until 5 o'clock that next day when he was finally found by a drone. East Anglia police flew a drone over the swampy marshes. A big rescue team then waded down these gigantic reeds. You may wonder why he doesn't just get up and walk out, but remember, he's been wandering around that swamp all night. He's also quite elderly and totally exhausted. The East Anglian countryside is vast, and you could easily get lost forever. He was also trapped by these spiky reeds, which had latched onto his clothing. This is one instance where a drone has been used for good. Without this drone, he may have been found weeks, months, or years later. And without any food or water, he would not have made it. Stalker. This footage comes from a YouTuber named Chris Lamb. It was recorded one night in Alabama. It's nighttime and it seems that Chris is all alone. At the beginning he is, but a moment later the camera pans back up and you can see a mysterious figure. The dark figure is standing by the street lamp, but as soon as the camera pans up and goes back down, the figure vanishes. There's not enough time for someone to walk behind a building or to run away. So that raises the question, how did this figure appear and then disappear just like that? Some say this is some kind of teleporting ghost entity, and others say it could simply be a creepy person stalking Chris. What do you think? Is this paranormal or just some creep? Spy drone. Right now, some people are concerned that we're living in a state of surveillance. Well, this video from a local police force is bound to reinforce that idea. Recently, the Sacramento Police Department have been given some cutting-edge technology. These are known as micro drones. In this video, they fly the drone into someone's house without them even knowing. They do this through someone's partially open garage. They then go through the air vents and then into his bedroom. They did this to check that he was asleep and safe before they went in to arrest him. Now, you may think this makes things safer for everyone, but it's pretty creepy that they could literally fly into anyone's house without you even knowing. Already we have hard drives the size of our fingernails. And some say that by 2050 we'll have cameras which are not visible to the human eye because they're so small. So this could easily go too far if it hasn't already. Do you think that cops should have these micro spy drones? Or do you think there's way too much scope for these to be used for the wrong reasons? Woodland Ghost. One day a YouTuber named Furious Otter was trying out his new drone. He was flying it over some dense trees in the local woods. But that's when something in his video stands out. He sees what appears to be an all-white object in the woods. So he stops and brings the drone down for a closer look. but he instantly regrets doing so. That's because he's met with a very creepy all-white figure staring right at him. As you can see in this version I zoomed in on and enhanced, it seems to be a mysterious ghostly figure. Victorian-style ghosts are often pictured wearing all-white dresses, so maybe that's what we're seeing here. The figure appears to crouch down to hide from the drone, but it doesn't work. Even if this is a human being, what are they doing out in the middle of the woods? The person who recorded this said it's in the middle of nowhere. The good thing is it did not appear like the person needed any help. But in some ways, that makes things even more creepy. Maybe they were doing something they didn't want anyone knowing about. Crop clown. To many people, clowns are their #1 biggest fear, and in 2016 we saw a craze of many creepy clowns haunting towns. Some of these people were innocent pranksters, but some were more sinister and were arrested. Well, in 2016, one person found something scary out in the countryside. A YouTuber named Golden Hour was simply trying to get some lovely shots of the countryside. He was flying around his small town when he noticed something in a cornfield. Among the crops is a bright orange clown. The clown glares at the drone and then speeds off. The drone tries to follow it, but the clown runs into the woods, never to be seen again. Now, maybe this was one of those clowns who like to prank people. But if that was the case, what were they doing standing in the middle of an empty cornfield? Some say this could be the real-life Cropsy. Cropsy is an apparent escaped mental patient. He would live in the woods and hide out in cornfields. Any kids who came by to play in the cornfields or the woods would be taken out by Cropsy. Swarm. This is another scary video from the US military. It's recorded by a drone, but it's also of drones, many in fact. As you can see, the F-18 Super Hornet launches many Perdix drones. These are miniature drones which create a gigantic swarm. To get a grasp of how many they have, check out this radar image. These drones are only 12 centimeters large and all operate autonomously. The scary thing is though, will these be used in a real-life situation? Just imagine if another country got this and used it on us. According to the Department of Defense, there's nothing that air defense systems can do against these. That's because they're way too small and fast. It's safe to say that this swarm of 104 miniature drones is terrifying, but let's hope they're never used in a real-world situation. Alien Crop Circle. This one comes from a YouTuber named Run Gun Griff. He enjoys exploring exotic locations and also uses a drone to capture them in HD. But this one was out in a rural landscape in what he calls the middle of nowhere. This is a used crop field. As you can see, there are many plants. The only questions are, what is this symbol, who made it, and why? The symbols cannot have been done by a human being because they're so perfect and precise. Their geometry is exactly symmetrical. Some say that you could do this using farm equipment, but there's no trails showing where a tractor's driven off. And also, why would a farmer waste all of this money and destroy his own crops? This has led to some saying that extraterrestrial life is behind this. But if you recognize these symbols from anything at all, then let me know. I searched for a while and even tried to reverse search the image, but found nothing. Intruder. One day a drone pilot is flying around his local highway, but that's when he sees something strange going on near his house. He was actually not at his house while he was filming this, but he saw an all-white figure entering his home. There's no cars around, and it's not his mailman. The camera moves up and then down, and then the figure's gone. Some believe this could be a ghost, while others say it could simply be someone trying to rob his house. Navy UFOs. The following 3 videos are from a drone camera mounted to a Navy aircraft. They were taken in 2004, 2014, and 2015, but they were only declassified and showed to the media in 2017. The first video is called Gimbal. It shows what seems to be a tiny UFO.
Hold on, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind.
The 2014 video is known as Go Fast. That's because the UFO in it is going at incredible speeds.
Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay.
And the third video is called Flare. The UFO in this one is a large, dark object. This has led to some believing that UFOs could be real, and it's the first time they've been confirmed by the US government. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below which was the scariest drone video. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thanks.